Hi, my name is Oxana. I was born in a country, an Orthodox country, though I was born in a time when religion was prohibited. So in a way, I did become Orthodox as I was journeying through my life. I was born in Moldova. It's a small country between Romania and Ukraine. Today, Moldova is a sovereign and independent country, but Moldova used to be part of Soviet Union. Most of the clergy was either shot or they were sent to labor camps. And the number of churches dropped from 30,000 to 500 in Russia in just 20 years. I grew up in the capital of Moldova, and obviously, and like in most of the cities in Soviet Union, churches were completely closed or they became something else. I do remember that the cathedral, the former cathedral, became an art museum, and another church was given to a medical school and became a student club. My father was a communist and I was a pioneer. We didn't talk about God or religion at home. We didn't have icons, we were not saying prayers. We didn't know, I didn't know what the prayer was. I saw some icons at my grandparents' house in the village, and I heard about Christ and Holy Mary, but that's about it. But then Soviet Union collapsed. I was about 15 and my mom started taking me to church. I barely could understand anything, not because of the language, obviously I'm illiterate, but because of the structure and the prayers. It was pretty hard. All I could think about was food and a bench to sit on because churches don't have pews over there. However, I do remember the icons. They were beautiful. I was looking at them as they were an art gem, like when people stare at Mona Lisa painting. I do remember the incense and definitely the music. Music was beautiful. Music was something that helped me to tolerate 4 hours of not understanding the service. I made many mistakes when I was young. I had plenty of disappointments and stress and anxiety. I was looking for peace and I didn't know where to find it. Of course, I heard about God, and by 19 and 20 I already knew who God was. But I don't think that was the same God, at least for me in my head, that I know today. And though I heard about His commandments, I think I twisted them for my own benefit. I was just a young, lost person, like a sheep without shepherd. My mom later gave me a prayer book, a couple of icons, and a necklace with a cross were a couple of things that I took with me when I immigrated. I was very surprised by the number of churches here in the United States. They were like mushrooms after rain on every corner. A family member where I lived with told me about St. Basil Orthodox Church. It was located in Pocosin at that time, so I started attending. The priest at the time was Father Gregory McGregor. He gave me the Bible and I started reading from there. I started having questions and I was asking them pretty often. So finally there was somebody there who was able to answer my questions and explain things in a way that I could understand. I noticed that the same faces, same people were coming to the church every Sunday, so I realized that people belong to a particular church here, unlike back home where you could go to any church and you didn't know anyone and nobody knew you. So I suddenly got a new family, a church family with a loving people and patient people. I was learning new things. Things that I was reading in the Bible made sense. Things that I was questioning before started making sense. And I really liked the church. 1 year later, I started singing in a church choir. I also met my husband in church, and we got married in church, and the entire church family. became our witness. Though I was baptized in Orthodoxy, I inherited that by tradition. Everything was tradition. That was one thing that I could not understand about Orthodoxy, because it was like grandma's soup, that you follow the recipe over and over and you never ask anybody and yourself about the ingredients or the water. It's a tradition, you just follow up. However, for me, tradition alone was not enough. I wanted to know and to understand the Orthodoxy itself, how it began, how it was created, how it developed. As a living God, I wanted to know God and His fullness, to understand His teachings and His commandments. And learning about Orthodoxy and reading and talking to the priest and listening to the sermons definitely helped that. Singing in the choir helped to understand the structure of the services as well. And I started learning and I started growing in my faith. I know one thing for sure. I would never be able to leave Orthodoxy and be part of a different religion. I just don't know how to do that. Tradition is good. Tradition is stability. Tradition is something who we are and where we come from. But tradition together with the knowledge and understanding and living Orthodoxy, it's at much higher level and it's much deeper. Orthodoxy for me is who I am already. It's part of me, it's part of my blood. It's like the clothes that I put on me every day, and I embrace it and it embraces me. Somebody said that Orthodoxy, it's not a religion, it's a lifestyle, and I agree with that. And it doesn't have to be a hard one. It can be a very joyful one. It depends on us how we make it.